Hello and welcome to another session of Mountain Home, which is a Forged in the Dark game of dwarven settlement building. My name is Lowell, pronouns he, him. This is one amongst a number of Forged in the Dark games that are out there that do really interesting things. Our game is part of the Open Hearth Gaming Community. Details about that are in the show notes. I'll mention that this video and my blogs and histories of RPGs and things like that can all be found on my website, which I will also have a link to along with Patreon. And just to absolutely show one more thing, I don't know if anybody has actually listened to this while it is actually going on. Girl by Moonlight from Evil Hat is another amazing Force in the Dark game doing striking things with the system with a lot of different play sets. So if you're interested at all in Forge in the Dark, I recommend that you go and check that out because it's pretty cool. So last time we left off after a expedition of a kind. We got to see Molo. We got to interact with a variety of things. Some positive results came out of that for our dwarves, our founders. We've got some benefits to the steading as a whole, but we also still have Dagriel having to make a choice about what benefit they want from the things that you can have for the next few years.
All right.
So the big thing is that we left off with the revelation of the moon, the chaos moon, peering out from behind the main moon, and the light from that shining down, and that being a very bad omen. And news arriving to you of a line of trolls that are moving along the mountains. They are coming towards Carrick Minor. They are coming along the mountains that run along the Mistland Valley and are clearly, from what you can see, are headed your way. They're not they can move in the daylight. They don't like to move in the daylight. They don't like the sun, but they can. And with some effort, they can move through stone itself. And they do that from time to time to make their passage easier. But there's a big old group of them heading this way. You're uncertain about numbers, uncertain about purpose, but you know it is certainly driven by this chaos moon. And I expect that we take up with the group going to be talking about that. But before we get too much further, Sherry, have you had a chance to look at that? Or would you like Tyler Patrick to make some suggestions about ones that might be good?
I'm cool with suggestions because I look at it and they're all delicious, but they're not like I don't go, oh my gosh, this is it. If that makes any sense. So,
Absolutely.
I mean,
Any of those, if you have the book, Ethan, I think you also have a copy of the PDF. So if you see there are any of those abilities from other steadings that you think would be useful for a few years.
You're muted, Patrick.
I was muted. I'll say the first one that pops out at me here from the Lost Fortress is Tablet of Foes, unearth documents of a traditional enemy.
hmm, that's cool.
It's auspicious timing, if nothing else.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a nice one. I'll say then, just as a quick thing, this game is so awesome, but I'll say I think the settlements abilities might be its weakest thing. There's some of they are in no way equal.
That is true. They do need some more of those. Just like I think at some point we need to sit down and come up with new dwarven buildings. Like we really do need. I can't. There it may be in there, but I don't know if they have a hot springs or not. But we definitely need.
Yeah, you always need a hot springs.
Right. That way we can do a hot springs dwarven episode of our anime
Exactly.
at some point. But yeah, I agree with you, Tyler. They're not dynamite, and some of them are much stronger than others.
But yeah, I think that one Patrick suggested for, Sherry, if you're interested. I know there might have been a thought of it would either be using that one for dragon or trolls, but it really
Use it
does
for the
feel
trolls.
Yeah, it feels really right for the trolls.
No, you can't use it for the trolls because it's a downtime action to do that.
Oh, that's true. Oh, okay, yeah.
Wait,
So
have
we
we
would
done
have
our
it-
downtime already?
No, we haven't gotten there yet, but we'll be dealing
No.
with the trolls first.
Oh, okay. So,
You would have it for the dragon then.
okay.
And we do, speaking of that, we would need to have it this time because we would be potentially dealing with the expedition on the dragon next time before we have a downtime.
It is the thing that introduces something entirely different from what we have now. So I kind of like it. So,
Tablet of Foes.
yeah, Tablet of Foes. And
So
you said that
tell me what these look like and where you find them.
Well, I think one of the things is that that in that conversation about the age of the summit, it is about that sort of the way that the mountain is like pushed up, and there's the one piece that's sort of the top, but it's crumbling and falling, and then there's the part that's pushed it up. And we kind of had gotten close to that, but it was sort of like while I was talking, I realized that was a super important, significant place, and that it's very possible that if things were going wrong in Carrick Minor and someone wanted to save things, they would have gone to some place around there in order to put those in a significant place that any dwarf would go to, of course, right? Because they knew the mountain so well that
Right.
they assumed that anyone coming in would know it just as well. So that's the thing. So, and indeed, the temple had the most clues about the age of the summit. So it makes sense that we would go back there and search around, looking this time for, essentially stone or metal chests that might have been set away with things they didn't want destroyed.
To steal a element that I actually believe Patrick and you came up with several years ago. I think that actually there is a tunnel with metal wrought things in the walls of it, right? Like along, and I imagine it's actually one of those passages that kind of goes straight, and there's metal on the floor,
Mhm.
and as you go past, there's actually rivets to run a minecart, and as you run the minecart down through it, the sound and the clack actually creates this percussive music as you go along through there, and you find that tunnel.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Sure. That's
Okay.
cool.
Plus, Fishbane Nina will just ride up and down there all day.
I know, all the time. It's just gonna write a song and come back. It'll be a bestseller.
Absolutely.
Oh god, she's gonna become a burgeoning drummer, isn't she?
I know.
Yeah.
Hey, it's gonna be
Percussing
all
on
the
everything.
things.
Oh god.
I call it stomp.
I don't know why, but that just seems so appropriate for goblins.
Yes. So we take up with the meeting of the founders. This news has been brought. You've been able to confirm on it, and I'd like to maybe like have you all kind of talk generally about what you want to do, and then maybe if each of you, and you may figure out who you want to do, maybe like to talk to NPCs or to go and gather information or do things like that. So let's do a scene together, and then maybe we'll kind of do a once around. So you're kind of still coming off the glow. of the celebration. So everyone is in a good mood when this news comes. It doesn't break that mood. It's strong enough that I think the settlement feels together and strong. And so I imagine it's one of your scouts, Dawson, that has brought the information.
Cool.
And
Oh, you're muted, Tyler.
oh, yeah, he'll look around and bow and then withdraw.
Awesome.
Trolls are not something I know a great deal beyond legends. Dagriel, what do the books, what do the tomes tell us?
Well, it just so happens. Yeah, I will pull those out. I will say, this is clearly something that happens. It doesn't appear regularly, except that it is predictable if you watch the skies. I didn't know, or we would have had that going, but now we will going forward. So, and since you open these up, I assume that this is the sort of thing where we go around and talk about what's in the tablets then or something, yes?
Well, the tablets don't help with the trolls because
no,
they're,
that's
they're
right. Oh,
required
God,
with
such a
downtime
goofy.
action.
Okay.
But you
So-
may make a gather information roll. This is not a downtime thing. You may
Yeah,
make
it's
a
true.
roll.
And
You
I'm good at
have
it.
one die from the Centaur Library towards this.
Okay.
And I don't think you have another one that gives you benefits, but yes. So this is study. This is your strength. And I just want to say, when you go to roll study with this extra die, if you roll 4 6s again, we're ending the game. We're just stopping it right there.
Stopping
We're
it.
done.
It's
That's
unlikely to happen. Don't
just going to
worry,
tell
Paul.
you.
Don't worry.
Today I
Mountain
rolled.
begins glowing, and we all ascend.
Exactly.
Today I rolled the worst possible roll in Starforged. I
Oh.
rolled a 1 on the action d6 and 2 10s on the challenge d6s.
Oh no.
It was a matched ultimate failure. It was pretty bad.
Okay. Well, there you go. Okay, so we're rolling 4d6 is what I heard.
4d6 is what I said.
Okay, let's. A single 6.
Okay.
An antidote to the list. Well, it's not all once, so it's not a true antidote.
So what is your first question here?
What is the route that they're most likely to take?
So they are very much going to follow the mountains. The mountains are important to them. And from what you've heard, the sort of descriptions, you know that there are lowlands like marsh trolls and things like that, but these definitely seem like mountain trolls. And they are associated with that.
So they're following the spine of the mountains? Is
Yes,
kind of what you're
there
saying?
is a
Okay,
there's
sorry,
a point.
it's just, or past
Yeah,
this, you know,
there
it's kind
is.
of what I'm asking.
They're moving along the spine of the mountains, which will bring them kind of along from the south, and they'll kind of turn and come up onto your line of mountains.
Okay. All right. So the spine is relatively like, I mean, that's a narrow band. That's like the highest part of the mountain ridges, correct?
Well,
That kind of follow up the
and when
thing.
I say that, I mean they're moving along where the mountains are. They're not necessarily up on the tops there, but they
Oh,
are
they're
following.
not following the peaks. Okay.
Yeah, I meant the
So-
spine is in terms of the line of the thing rather than specific there. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, that's fine. That was why I was kind of following up on that. Okay,
Sure.
so essentially they're going along the mountains. There's nothing like it doesn't. There's no suggestion then that we have that they follow the same route every time.
No, and one of the things is that the Chaos Moon has an irregular orbit. It doesn't have a predictable orbit. So like it it causes different things when it appears. Different things occur as a result of it. It is said that the reason that it appears is that there is a night road that reaches into the awful places in the heavens that exists there on the Chaos Moon, and it appears when that night road opens.
And the trolls come from there or are going to there?
No, they seem to just be affected by, well, I mean, you don't know what their interaction is with it. They
Okay.
haven't come from the moon or anything. But the Chaos Moon has traditionally sent different groups and peoples into bizarre behaviors, changes of behaviors,
Okay.
or been read as signifiers for civilizations. Tell me, Tolan, these are big trolls, but what do they look like? Like what kind of trolls are they? More humanoid? Are they more stony? Are they more rounded? Weird faced? Like what do you think is the appearance that we're seeing for these trolls?
I think they're basically humanoid, 2 arms, 2 legs, head. But beyond that, I think they can not shapeshift, like material shift. Like they can make themselves hard so that they could, that's how they go through rock. They need to be harder than the rock, right? So they can change like the material that they are made of, but they're always the same shape.
Awesome. And Grunheld, what do you recall from the histories of the last time there was a big walking of the trolls? Maybe not this group, but other trolls or something.
The legend is that uh, that when the last march occurred, that many people, as they were going, would try to hold them off, would stand and fight against them, and that there was practically nothing that you could do. That inevitably they continued forward, and it was in fact said by legend that one of the few people that managed to survive them were a group that chose not to fight at all. And in fact, just sort of moved all of their houses to either side and let them just march right through.
And Dawson, beyond this whole sort of moving into the stone and coming out, what is the other magic that the trolls have? Either an ability or, actual mages or something like that. What do you think that is?
Um, so I think they have, there's a tradition in the Stone Speakers, lores, legend, that sort of thing, and I think the legends are that they have their own language for the earth, but it doesn't line up with our Stone Speak. But I think rather than the sort of like major, like we call on the spirit of the mountain or the spirit of the land, I think they find and deal with and influence all these like animist spirits, like the little spirits that they come across. And that's what they deal in, and that's what they affect with their weird language.
Nice. And Sherry, I've given you a question. If I've answered that, do you want to tell me a detail or do you want to ask me a question?
What is the threat that they pose to us if they come near here? Like, if we engage them, if we don't, what is it that we have been told will occur?
I think the danger is they are clearly coming here, and they don't kind of recognize you as living beings. They don't, like, and whatever their purpose is, you might not even enter into their calculations.
Okay. Like so many insects to us in some ways.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't want to
Let's-
say vermin or anything like that, but just like things you would move out of the way to do what you wanted to do. Like you'd
stomp
pick
on
up
if they can
like
hear
you'd pick up a cat and put it over here.
Mhm. All right. Okay.
They
well,
they do
then-
react when attacked, which is why fighting, as Grunheld recalled, does set them off. You have 2 weeks. At the pace that they are marching. Grunheld, I'll turn the table back to you.
So it sounds like they are not particularly hostile as much as indifferent to us.
Yes, alien and indifferent, perhaps.
One would suppose if they come straight through the mountain or through our home, they would just smash straight through or disrupt whatever. Is there a way we could lead them to not come through us, or to make a path that is better for them to go than through the mountain and just stand by and watch them go?
We would have to go and observe them. We have 2 weeks. We could probably meet them at the 8 days out, follow them for some days and send runners. We would need people who were set for speed to bring the information back. Standard, scout and relay methods.
If they're drawn by the curse moon, I don't know if we could have an effect on them.
No,
Please.
but we can figure out what their path is, how they're moving, understand what we need to do to get our people out of the way, or
Yes.
our assets out of the way.
Yes, that may be our best bet, is to try to figure a way for us to not be in their path. Which is not easy, but
And also to take warning to anyone else who is on the mountain who may lie in their path.
yes. Then, Dozen, can your scouts begin looking? I can send some of the guard with them as well. But your people are far more eagle-eyed than the Hearth Guard.
I can send them to keep up with the trolls. We can also see if the mountain would be receptive. Maybe it could help us reject them.
Or at least avoid them. Yes. Yes, surely.
Mountains aren't great at avoiding. Sort of not what they do.
No. then yes, speaking with the mountain would be a wise choice. Dolan, any thoughts?
Well, we have to find out what sort of what makes a path for them, what they consider a path, and
Exactly.
either make this place as unlike that as possible or move everyone out of the way to a place unlike that.
We don't even really know their numbers. Once we get a scouting on them, then we can know better. And it would be a terrible shame for them to wreck up the place, but it is not as terrible a shame as them killing our people. Things can be rebuilt.
All right. Let's see if we can figure out what they're doing, where they're going, what it is that they do, and how they do it.
So let's do this as a once around, talking to people, dispatching your guilds, that kind of thing, and figuring out what you can pick up from there before we kind of go to any kind of expedition phase. So Tolan, I started with Dagriel in the hot seat last time, so I'm going to start with you. What is it that you wish to do?
That's a good question.
And if you want to say pass, I can pass and come back to you.
Yeah, because I have no idea.
Sure, absolutely. Grunheld, what are you doing? How are you working things here?
I thought I had a minute. Well, this if information is what we're trying to gain, then maybe I'm going to try and go to the. I think I'll go to the Guarded Hearth, the Merchant Inn, and try and do a gather information roll out of it.
Okay. Let us look at that. So I feel like we're halfway between study and host. So let's do that as 2 dice. Because you've got a 3 and a 1. Because I think we're kind of like, if I may, hybridize a little bit there.
Certainly.
And do you have anything that you want to use or mark for effect or for an extra die? By the way, I will point out, everybody should know this. I just want to remind everybody that everyone except for Dawson is in pretty good shape, and you need to make sure you take care of Dawson.
Yeah, let me. Should have. I thought I had a thing for hospitality stuff. But I don't see it. Okay, well, I'll do my fine old instrument to try and lubricate these folks and chat them up.
Do you want an extra die, or do you want greater effect potentially?
I better get an extra die.
So 3d6, risky standard.
Alrighty. 3. Come on. I got a 6.
Got a 6. And sort of give me the general aspect of what it is you are trying to learn.
So since this has more to do with like some distant stuff and people reporting back in from merchants.
Or picking up rumors or anything like that. So you can frame this as you wish.
I think what I'm trying to pick up is kind of what they rumors and information about where they pass through, what's happened as they pass through, kind of get an idea of their modus operandi as they move through an area. And any that they've encountered thus far.
I think it will be that you're up there chatting, and talking with people and picking up the things, and Susano is chatting with you, and you will see one of these Tengu come down, and very much like you haven't seen any one of them like this. Like the Rengzu and the others are there's some color to them, but they tend to be that kind of black and gray and whites and things like that. And this one is bright greens and reds and purples, and will land down with a light pack and comes in, uh, dual blades across its back, little trophies and other metal things at its belt, beads, scar across the beak and face, and it will look around and it will beeline over to where you are at, and it will say, "My name is it?"
Well met, is it? I am Grunhound.
It is.
Yes, it is Grunhound, yes.
See, he seems
Can I help
disappointed.
you?
He seemed kind of look downcast, that he's clearly trying to do some kind of Tengu joke there with his name is it, and it doesn't land, and you see him kind of you are of the dwarfs. There are some other dwarves here, but none of them are as old or wrinkled as you, so I take it that you are of age and importance, since those two things go together.
Yes, I think that's fair to say.
I have been flying from the south. I was in the tropical Gulf there, doing some island hopping, when I saw some things, and through the circle of feathers, I found from Rengzu that you and yours were in peril and needed assistance, information.
Oh, yes, that's yes, we definitely could.
So I was in the South, as I have said before, and I will say again at some point. There were the mountains there, and there was the first glint of the chaos moon. And then I felt and heard a thing, and a shadow fell over the mountains that lay close by the ocean. And we could feel its touch, not a thing that was there, but a thing that was reaching out, extending its hand like a blind thing in the night, trying to reach for something, feeling out, telling its shape. And it was a bad thing. It was an element of the earth, of the jungle, a darkness that was reaching out and exploring. And the shadow of it fell upon the mountains there and then moved away. But soon after that, the trolls there broke their walls, shattered their pottery, knocked down what they had, sent away the youngest trollkin off, and the 13 who remained began to walk. And they are coming this way.
We had heard rumors that they were coming, but it did not know their number, did not know their seeming madness.
It is strange. Here is the thing, though, I will tell you, and it is perhaps the last thing I know. I told you that I came from the mountains in the south, right?
Yes, yes.
That's okay, good. I just wanted to make sure because I said I would tell you again, and I wanted to make sure I did that before I finished the conversation. So I could feel that evil, that darkness, that corruption of this reaching. That the trolls are not suffering from that. I cannot feel that same corruption on them. What that means, I do not know.
I see. Huh. Thank you very much for your information.
Do you plan to fight the trolls?
Everything that we have been told is that it is pure folly to fight the trolls.
Is it?
Is it indeed? Ah. We will not be fighting them.
Ah, all right then. He looks a little disappointed. Well, then I will head on elsewhere to see where my blades can be of use. I wish you well and luck to you and your companions.
I wish you good luck if indeed you find this fight.
And he will extend his wings and head out the door and take off.
That is a foolish, foolish Tengu if he wishes to fight these trolls.
Let's come to check in with Dawson.
Finding my mute button. I do want to go see if I can consult with the mountain spirit.
All right.
It's probably down in that temple's the best place.
Yeah. Let us look at that. And I can't remember the temple. That reduces that. So this feels like you're doing the stone speak.
Yes. I have a bag of strange rocks and metals good for dwarven rituals.
Okay.
Trying to think. I don't know. Ethan, what do you think? Like we have the paranormal drinking society. What do you think the latest trendy brew that is like connecting us with the spirit world right now? I know we've had the mushroom ale for a while.
Yeah. I think it's actually a variation on the mushroom ale, but we've started adding found like a salt deposit. And we've started adding salt like directly from this mountain into it, and it seems to have helped. At least everyone insists that it helps.
Nice. I like it. So yeah, he has a small keg of that brew that he's imbibing himself as he reaches out to the mountain. But I think why not? I think sort of like middle school science fair project aesthetics. He has built a like replica of our mountain out of this salt, and while he's calling out to the mountain is pouring this brew over it and like slowly dissolving the mountain as this brew like leaks to the floor and down into the stone.
Okay. Let's have you roll. Do you have others with you, or is this you doing the solitary? I was curious about this with you, Dawson.
this is him alone, but that is a good point. I should think. I think a lot about the scouts, and I think about like smithing apprentices, but I haven't really given thought to like the stone speak line. I will.
Okay.
I got a 5.
Got a 5. So I
This mountain,
think,
we're just never quite on the same page.
yeah. So what is it you are looking for here?
So I think Dawson's dream is that he can convince the mountain of the danger that these trolls are posing and get the mountain to like resist their incursion. But I am open to like learning more about their relationship with the earth if that's not something the mountain is going to do, which is fair.
The mountain will speak to you and will say, you were right.
All right, end of conversation. Great talk. See you next time.
Something lives in the lava. And I tell you this because that is why they are coming. And that looked nothing like me.
It was exacting. I even did the little trees.
That was radically inaccurate. What am I, like a little mouse? That look how small I am. That I'm not that small.
I couldn't make it your full size. I couldn't fit it inside. That's not how things work. No, that's not the point.
Should
No.
work. You should carve a whole other mountain to look like me.
We're really doing well here for a minute.
I have told you what I will tell you.
The lava.
Would you like to resist his vagueness?
Yes, I would like to know more about the lava creatures.
Absolutely. So let's have you make.
Can I take that for him?
He is by himself.
He sure is.
So let's have you make that resistance roll, Patrick.
All 2s.
Look at you resisting it all.
Wow. I will say as a meta note, and I appreciate Tyler you stepping in there, but I realize where I am, and I would be okay if the storyline went to me going and having a second weakness.
Oh yeah, no, I figured you were there, but I always wanted to check in on that. They seek annihilation, and they will call up their brethren that live in the lava to get it. And it will not be pretty for anyone here. That is why they are coming.
So there's something like them that lives in the lava flows.
It's not a dragon, mind you.
No, but if we're on the subject of dragons.
Nope. You're not getting me talking about that. That wasn't nearly enough beer to make me talk about that.
Ah, so we're just in a discussion of quantity at this point.
Be gone. Does that feel like good info?
No, I like that.
Okay. Tolan, I kind of skipped over you. Do you have an idea, or should you want me to go to Daggeril first?
Um, I think I'm gonna go talk to the humans.
Okay. So you will make that journey up overland. You'll meet at that trading post where the humans are, and I think you'll be greeted by what is his name? Who Aiken, who is pleased to see you. We'll say, Master Tolan, it has been some time. How goes things?
It has, and I hate to come bringing a problem again. You've seen the moon.
Yes,
Have you heard about the trolls?
we've heard reports of trolls in motion, but we've been occupied with our own building projects such that we've not heard much more. Are they coming towards us? Are you bringing warning?
Yes, yes, and I tell them, everything we've learned so far.
So coming towards along the mountains towards you, not towards my people, precisely.
Well, we don't know exactly. Thought it would be it would be good to know about this,
exactly.
especially since
I merely say this because this is the kind of thing that Lubeck will say.
oh, I understand. I do your people have any knowledge of these trolls? We don't know. We don't know why they're coming. We only know they're coming in this direction. We don't know where exactly they'll go.
What do you want to roll to kind of elicit information from them? What's your best sort of social for this?
I think it's a host.
Okay.
And I think I'm going for, like, I know my people have, all these ancient legends. I know they're not 100% accurate. And I understand your people probably have similar stories, and sort of going off that.
All right. And he will bring you in, like he takes you from the trading post. You were kind enough to take, their people in, so he will take you to, their like small town / city that they've got built up here, and you can finally see this great marble tower that they are building.
Oh yeah, I compliment it profusely. I am actually impressed, but even if I weren't, I would, make sure to
Absolutely.
sound appropriately impressed. Let's see, do I have anything here that would be useful? Oh, I have. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gathering information, so that makes sense. I have yet another where there it is. I have a brew that is +1D to gather information.
Okay.
So
Excellent.
use that.
Let's have you roll.
And I still failed.
So, I think that they will come out and will kind of, you'll end up talking mostly with Aiken and Weira, and clearly the couple of other human mages who are of Weira's sort of faction. And I think now you can tell that there are mages here that are wearing blue, and there are mages here that are wearing yellow, and that seems to be sort of the two lines that are there. So kind of 2 steps down. So if you'd like to resist that, Weira won't give you information on the trolls, but we'll give you something else.
Yeah, I will resist that. I think that's still 2 dice.
Yeah. Oh, look at
a
you
6.
all.
All right.
What's with this tonight?
Good resist rolls tonight.
Laura will say, I am sorry. I do not know anything. The trolls are not around where we are. We have other foes to contend with, but the trolls have never been part of our anatomy, our works. But I am glad you came, because I have something for you. And she will pull out a box, and she will pull out a ring that she will hand you. And then she'll push the box towards you, and kind of open it up, and you'll see inside is a tiny clockwork filigreed heart.
Oh, this is
were
beautiful.
You were working on making something like what we do. What we do is very different from what you do, but I thought about a way to help you with that. And this is an animus, and that will animate a thing. If you can make the thing such that it will move and work, you can animate it with this, and it will have a spirit, and you can speak to it and control it with the ring.
This is wonderful. Thank you. I was not getting very far.
I knew you wouldn't, and I was worried about that. I knew you could build a beautiful machination. Your skills are exemplary for that, but to have it move and live, I've put much thought into that. So I hope that you will accept this.
I will. Thank you very much.
And she kind of like stops, and she said, maybe don't show anyone else the ring that I gave you.
Yeah, I put it in my pocket and quietly. Yeah.
You will come back and see me again?
Yes, hopefully with better news.
I hope so as well. And yeah, you return back, and I think like when you touch this thing, you can kind of feel it. It's moving a little. It has a little bit of a warmth to it, and it is a little mechanical heart.
Very cool.
Daggeriel doesn't help you at all with your present situation, but there you go.
But still very cool. Yeah. Talon returns like looking all happy and excited, and what'd you find out? Nothing.
Daggeriel, what are you going to do?
So I guess we know from the mountain that they'll be heading towards the lava sections of the mountain. So I think it makes sense that we try to, how do you say, figure out what would be the path that would allow them to get there in the way that would not take them through our settlement, so to speak. Like, are there, I mean, it's the thing is like in my head, it's like they have to go low, like down deep
the unfortunate
in,
thing
right?
is that those are levels 3 and 4. They're going to have to pass through some portion of your settlement.
Unless there were an alternate entrance.
I think building an alternate entrance is a downtime action. But if you wanted to like rearrange things such that they would like either skip depth 1 or depth 2, that seems like a reasonable logistical thing to do. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, I think that's getting there. We want to just make it so that their contact with our things are, I mean, our settlement is as minimal as possible.
So how do you want to do this building, and which depth do you want to have them avoid?
Okay, that's a good question. Let's see here. Let's see, on depth 1, that's the settlement, the brewery, the ironworks. 2, so we definitely want them to skip on depth 1. And then lava starts in depth 3, right?
Yeah. So
But there's also some in 4.
you could rearrange it such that they could move more accessibly, more easily past depth 1 down through 2, 3, 4.
All right.
How do you want to do that? Like, what's the roll that you want to make here for that?
It's a good question. I think I'm gonna convince essentially the all the dwarves, because we all can dig when time comes to
Okay.
think of it, that essentially we need to make a path for these guys because they're walking to their deaths down below, and we don't want to be there when it happens, but we also need to help them not destroy as many things as possible.
Now, keep in mind that the mountain has said that what's going to happen is not going to be pretty. I think Dawson has an icon in the chat that illustrates what's potentially coming.
Oh.
You were talking about ways to, keep them from going down to find the lava. We could just bring the lava up.
Oh, I see.
No, it's not a real suggestion.
Okay, well, that's pretty terrible. Then if essentially them making contact with the things is going to cause a volcanic explosion, then we need to convince the trolls that they don't need to annihilate themselves. That sounds like a lot of fun. That's pretty much like, can we take the effect of the chaos moon off of them in some way?
There are several options here. You could try and get whatever is in the lava up and out to them. You could try and convince them not to come here. You could try and convince them not to annihilate themselves here. These are all options.
We don't know what it is they're looking for in the lava.
It's trolls, lava trolls. It's
Probably.
pretty much what isn't that what the mountain said?
It said creatures of their kind, but not like them. So yeah, probably something like that.
Yeah.
Like lava trolls.
Do you want to try and figure out what that is?
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to.
Okay. That's his study roll.
Okay. Okay, well that's 3. I don't know. And I think my skill sets are can borrow things. God, I think I have something with a +1 on this, but no, I have nothing on a study. Okay, so study, here it is, 3d6. As soon as I find that, roll with me. Here we go. This will be, I'll probably be joining Talon in the, ooh. Okay. Ah, I got a 6 and a 5. If I added the 1 to the 5, it'd be 2 6s.
There is, you'll find this in the obscure notes from a mad dwarf from the old scrolls who made a lava bathysphere.
Oh my gosh, I say. I'm going to have to make one of these.
And his last report back before the bathysphere stopped reporting back with him is that there is a small family of sleeping lava giants down there in the far depths. They are slumbering. And this document was clearly hidden away so that nobody would try and go down there with a bathysphere again and possibly wake them up, kind of thing.
What
do you know about giants is that they are very elementally aligned. Like there are storm giants, and there are ice giants, and there apparently are lava giants. You assume it means there's like fire giants of some kind.
Yeah, but with stone, like made of stone. So
Yeah.
it's both the stone and the fire. So they're kind of complicated for a dragon or for a giant. So maybe smarter than most giants. I don't know.
The one thing is if they have that elemental blood, you do have the Lita do have some of that blood as well.
So they might be better diplomats, so to speak.
Possibly. Let's take our first break here. Let's come back. Let's take 8 minutes. We'll come back at 1:45, and then we'll continue on, okay?
Mhm.
So I'll assume that the founders are back together, and I assume that we're still talking about an expedition out to meet these giants halfway, or are you doing something else? Not giants, sorry, trolls.
Trolls. Yeah, I think we need to have 2 different problem teams. One working on figuring out how to parlay with the lava giants, maybe to make the whole meeting less traumatic to the settlement and to the mountain itself. And then perhaps another group to scout out the dragons or the trolls and figure out if there's some way that we can, again, manage the meeting or better, maybe find some way to affect their goal.
So that sounds super from a practical point of view. Let me talk meta here.
Okay.
I suspect we should probably do one expedition, because if we do 2 expeditions and one group solves it, the other group is kind of set aside. And it's also like
we were talking of it as expeditions. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I gotcha here. Okay, got it.
There is an expedition here to try and ameliorate damage to the settlement. Here is what the goal is.
Okay.
Could it be a 2-front expedition, or do you think that would weird out the way the expeditions work?
I think it could work mechanically. I just think narratively it would cause issues in terms of a solution.
So we fish or we cut bait or something, but not
Well,
that. It's we do one thing or the other. We try to mitigate or we try to change.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing I'll suggest. Talking to the giants, if that goes wrong, there is still the possibility. Talking to the trolls. If that goes wrong, there's still the possibility of falling back and talking to the giants.
Okay.
Like, does that make sense?
Yeah. If we talk to the trolls and are successful there, then we don't have to bug those giants. And once we wake the sleeping giant, there's some sort of saying about that. So I mean, it's it might be that we try to avoid that if we can help it.
Sleeping giants or sleeping dogs? I'm always so confused. Okay, yes.
Clifford. I combine both.
Clifford the lava dog.
It makes it all more ominous now, doesn't it?
So we want to try. The idea might be if we could get to them and in some way speak to them, make them notice us, so we can steer them from their path of destruction. From what I heard, it is not the moon itself that has caused this madness in them. It is a byproduct of the moon being there. And the colorful Tengu said he did not sense the same darkness, the same grasping evil that came from the moon. Is it? It is.
Somewhere on the road, he's pissed that his joke is being used without him.
And now he's thinking it over. How could he have said it differently? Was it his fault or your fault? Were you just very, 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 very obtuse? Or was he? Must have been that.
It seems a byproduct of whatever grasping evil came from the moon. However, that doesn't alter our problems, except I don't think they're controlled by the moon. They've not been driven mad by the moon. Perhaps they saw something, perhaps they encountered something, perhaps they realized something, but they are doing this with conscious purpose.
So do you think they're
well
they're
no, where do
choosing-
where do you get the thing that they're doing this with conscious purpose? That they sent away the little ones?
They sent away the little ones. They destroyed their place of home. They are never returning. And they are coming here with the intent of annihilation, if the mountain is to be believed. Something has caused them
with their
to...
own? Their own?
Their own what?
Annihilation?
I have to think that's what it is. I believe that they wish to die. I don't think they're coming here to kill us. They don't know of us. They don't care about us.
I agree with you, Grunheld, that I think is their purpose. And so the thing is you don't think that it is because the chaos moon is hanging there.
I do not think that the chaos moon is directly like forcing them, controlling them. It may have a byproduct that they saw something, that they realized something.
You
They
think
may no longer wish to be a part of.
to make a decision because they saw it, rather than it imposing a decision upon them.
Correct.
We know that they make these trips out multiple times. Is it always a trip for annihilation? Is it that some group of trolls is called out to go and destroy themselves? Or
let me stop you here. Hang on.
Okay,
Let me stop you here. We are moving into territory outside of what Forge in the Dark is intended to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're planning.
We're kind of doing the planning. These are kinds of questions that we can resolve, solve, figure out on expedition. So I just want to stop us so we're not like turning our wheels.
I want to ask you, Lowell, you said that when the curse moon happens, that various groups end up doing these kind of crazy things.
Yes.
Trolls occasionally go on these marches,
Yes.
but the moon itself causes people to do crazy stuff, and it's not always trolls.
Correct.
I think we should try to see if we can get their attention and dissuade them from their destruction.
Yeah, I'm not fighting you. I
Then-
just thought that perhaps it is.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, okay.
Then let us gather yourselves together. You sent the scouts out ahead. They've marked the path. They've mapped out like estimated travel time and days where you can meet up. And the founders will set out on the road in another journey roll. Who would like to lead the journey?
I still have low stress if we want to go with me. I have 2 stress at the moment. How is everybody else doing?
Same.
I have 8.
Yeah, you definitely shouldn't do it.
No, it doesn't.
Just in a brief meta discussion here, though, I think I might need to mark my 9th because I very specifically wasn't in my clay body for the rituals and everything.
Right.
But if they don't respond to meat bags, but they might respond to earth and stone, that might be a way to connect with them.
I think that's a great idea. When you mark past your 9th box is when everything will go pear-shaped.
So you're on the cusp.
Don't take
now.
any more stress.
Tolan, me or you? What is you got 2 in Journey, don't you?
I've got 2 in Journey, yeah.
I got 1. It's smarter for me to lead than you.
Yep.
So mark XP, Grunheld. And let's start with Dagriel. Roll your journey.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I don't know what it
Fail.
just did. No, in fact, it just, I hit I was trying to hit 1 and I hit something else and it just acted stupid. Okay, took me to another page.
So that's a
rolled
5. Okay.
So that's a success.
That's a mixed success. Yes. Dawson?
Since we talked about the scouts, I'm going to go ahead and mark my other use of them.
Okay. Got a
6.
success. Okay. And then Grunheld?
Alrighty. Rolling my 1. I got a 6.
A 6. And Tolan, let's have you roll yours.
Get that double 6.
That looks like a 4
4.
and a 3. So that is a mixed success. So that is fine. So
But we get an overall success.
oh yeah,
for the
absolutely
journey.
got a
Yeah,
6.
okay.
So you will find that the journey is challenging, but it is the mountain and the line of it, and that at least is comforting to you. What is the weather when you arrive kind of close by them, Tolan? Heat wave,
Drizzle.
snow, drizzle. Okay, that kind of
Yeah.
like low drizzle.
Which, like,
in
any
that.
other time would be nice because this is a pretty dry area. But like, it's still not pleasant to be in.
Absolutely, absolutely. Grunheld, would you please roll me 3d6?
Yes. Yes, I shall. All right. Do good things. I had a 6. And a 42.
So you will arrive and are able to make your way in the area where you can have visual on them without being seen by them. So this is our controlled position. And you will see that there are 13 of these trolls. You probably witness them as they move, sometimes shifting into perversely harder form to move through rock, and moving along through there. I think that every once in a while, when it gets sort of towards dusk, just as the sun sets, let's say this time, you will hear their voices. Like you can kind of make out some of the stuff because they do kind of speak with a little bit of the stone speak, and you can feel it reverberate. But they are literally like singing a marking of the time song when it falls to dusk as they move along.
Can I ask a question, Wolf?
Yeah.
So we've heard about their ability to move through stone, but seeing it, is it more like magically swimming through the stone, or is it more like destructive fuck your rocks?
Oh, more like magically swimming. But
Okay, cool.
but it is weird, like rather than like becoming loose like water or something, they become denser and like overwrite the stone itself and kind of move through it.
And do
Cool.
they leave any visible trail
I do
behind
think
them?
it leaves a little bit of a trail, like there are marks and stuff, like something has happened to the stone.
Like troll scars in the
Yeah.
stone.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah,
troll
that's
scars. I like that.
And so yeah, that is what is going on here. How do you want to approach this? Do you want to, I mean, certainly if you want to try and gather information as a first step, that's a possibility here. Or you can try to move to communicate. Your goal here is figuring things out and not fighting them, but finding another way to solve the problem.
okay. Sure. I mean, I will happily roll a gather information.
So how are you doing this? Tell me what you're doing, Dogrill.
I think once I understand that they're marking the time, that I assume that time that they're marking is that sort of celestial time in this, or not maybe, but the moon's orbit kind of thing, or like just I'm going to figure that out and understand why that is important to their journey. Does
Okay.
that make any sense?
Absolutely.
So
Let's have you roll.
Okay.
Can I help?
Sure.
Sure.
There, you can observe. You're watching as well, trying to judge. So yeah, you mark a stress,
Okay.
and you can assist.
And can I contribute an item that might help?
Sure, I think you
Just
can mark
narratively.
your supply if you want.
Yeah. So I have one of my quick runes that I know is Shell Echo, which turns any conical shape into a funnel, where you get rough translations of other languages and can hear otherwise inaudible noises.
Ooh. Okay. That sounds excellent. So maybe that would increase the effect or something, Will? Does that seem?
Yeah,
or
that
should
seems
I-
reasonable. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm at 46 with increased effect. A 6.
There is a 6 in there. They will stop at some point, and it kind of all stops sort of simultaneously. So there's clearly maybe some subvocal communication that goes on between them. And you will see them kind of move. And one of the things is that they've got that rocky skin and stuff, but it's not all rock. Like you can see that they have, like at their joints and things, that there is like almost looks like vegetation. Like their organics are more sort of vegetable or stuff, and it kind of joins it together. Like you'll see they have lichen at different points, and moss and such, and you will see them stop and gather round one of them, the smallest of these 13, and you will see them like having him extend his arms and check and limbs, and they're there and talking, and they seem concerned that he is infected with something, and they are talking, and you can see them, like, what is said by the body of the trolls is, it is not much longer. We will be there soon. You do not have to worry. You can hold out.
The
Okay.
jungle. That's what the Tengu said, that it was a darkness that spoke of the jungle and the shadow. Was that the other piece?
Yeah, the corrupted earth and the shadow.
That's it.
So you think that they've become corrupted by that jungle? And that's
It
their
was a
concern?
byproduct. That was the hand reaching out, the Tengu said, from the moon. It was a corrupted jungle and stone feel. It was reaching, he said, like a blind man searching for something. And while it passed over them, leaving them behind, it did not take them or control them. Its influence, I think, has done this.
That they realize that they're infected, so they want to destroy themselves.
And sent their children away so they would not become infected. Destroyed all their things so no one would come back to that place.
Do we have access to something that might purify them then?
Not immediately, not quickly, I don't think. Toland, I imagine you could perhaps brew something, but it would take time.
I think we still are going to need to communicate with them. I have an idea for how to get their attention, but
How?
okay, I have a completely ridiculous long shot idea for how to get their attention.
Okay.
I'm all ears.
So I mean, Stone Speak, one of the things it says for it is to move rocks, move pebbles, sand, and dirt from a distance. How distant is a distance?
Let's say line of sight.
Okay. Well, I mean, technically this still would be hmm.
What you thinking?
So my completely ridiculous thought was to actually like move something on the on the cursed moon. My other thought is like if they're to like jam up their joints if they don't like if that's the one part that isn't covered with rock. But that might come across as an attack.
It might.
You do have a man made of clay.
We do.
And that is a good emergency option.
Yes, let's hold that maybe in reserve. And Dawson, do you think you can go and speak with them?
Oh, of course I can. I'm perfectly capable of speaking. I talk to people all the time.
But speak with them in particular. Tell them we want to help them.
Yes, probably, maybe, definitely.
Okay. I will accompany you. The rest of, if you wish, but Toland, be prepared, perhaps to keep them from smashing. Well, I'd rather Dawson not get smashed, but I really don't want them smashing me.
Understood.
So I don't think that the stopping them, meeting them here is the challenge. I think the challenge is Dawson speaking with them with the assistance of Grunhild. But tell me what that is to get them to stop and what that talking to them looks like, Dawson. I want to get the visual on this as they're marching down. How do you make yourself known to them? And how does that communication look?
I do think he's trying to communicate with them through stone speak, which is not something like conversational stone speak is not something he has a lot of experience with. So I think maybe it starts with like a pulse running through the earth, sort of a wave under their feet that would stop them and get their attention.
You muted yourself, sweetie.
I don't even know what happened there. He would step forward and address Brothers Earth.
And they kind of stop, kind of hear that sound, and there's a murmur and a talk, and one of them reaches down and picks you up and kind of does this. And you can hear the other one behind as he puts you down. The other one go, "That's adorable."
Bad rocks, bad rocks.
Is it just possessed, or is it it doesn't look like a baby?
I'm not a baby, I'm a fully grown dwarf.
But you're hollow. You have nothing in you. You just
I think that's rather judgmental. We just met each other.
No, it picks you up again. There's nothing in there.
How would you feel if I picked you up and shook you?
I don't think you can do that.
I wouldn't challenge me on that if I were you.
And we hear challenge. Oh, challenge. Are you issuing a challenge?
Yes. If I can pick up the biggest one of you, then you have to stop and parley with us.
All right. Let's see it. Stone speak?
Yeah, definitely stone speak, but he's doing it in like the most theatrical manner that he can, in that he's getting at the biggest one's feet and like grabbing the bottom of his feet and then like lifting pillars of earth along with his arms to try and lift them up.
Let's have you roll stone
I will
speak.
help with this.
I was going to say. So 4 dice.
Ooh, 6.
That's 3. I was like, all excited. It always puts that 6 in the third spot so that you build up the tension there. And I think you will pick it up, and they're like, oh, and some of the trolls to the back, like you'll hear the sound of the rocks and stuff as as they are laughing at their leader being picked up. But if fine, put me down.
Oh, see? You shouldn't doubt me.
He wanted to parlay.
Yes, well, you see, we live in the mountains that you're heading towards. And we would like to continue living in the mountain in generally the same shape that it is, without dying from cave-ins or horrible lava burns. Okay, so
Go on.
what are you doing?
We are headed to call the giants of fire from the depths. And we will bathe in their radiance, and we will be removed from this world. And we will no longer be a danger.
You don't seem very dangerous.
He flicks you over, like he knocks you down, like with a flick.
Ow! Why?
Do not say I am not dangerous. Oh, I almost hit your pet there. And he'll turn to you as, are you okay?
Yes, thank you.
Oh. I don't understand it, but it seems okay.
Arf, arf, arf.
She's very nice. Sometimes.
All right. So,
Ask if there's a way we can help them without them going there. Why must they leave this place?
What danger do you pose? What benefit would
there is a
death
rot
bring you?
at the heart of the wood that is within us, and we will be taken and we will spread our corruption.
That does sound dangerous,
Yes.
but perhaps we could help you? We are...
You wish to destroy us? You could pick us up, but I don't know if you could destroy us.
Yeah, well, again,
And with this kind of thing,
No.
Here's the thing: we're not allowed to just die. We have to fight for our death.
Ask if we could cure the rot.
Oh, the rot, yes. We are masters of stone, which does not sound like where your infection is, but what if we could introduce you to masters of strange things like wood?
So here we come to the social role. So, Dawson, you're going to get an extra die from Grunheld. And are you using host, I assume?
Yeah.
Technically, I would lean you towards convince, because that seems what you're trying to do. However, this is Fortune in the Dark, so you can play it whichever way you want. Anything else?
So got a little on dwarven tradition with the sort of like arm wrestling challenge there.
Respect and culture.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can I assist with I guess an item, or essentially some information that essentially
You spend a supply.
Yep, I would spend that supply. So, and essentially that we have notes and texts about the infections from the Chaos Moon that might help us create something that will cure them.
3 dice.
Oh yes, and hosting is taking care of guests. So I'll say that if they're coming to our mountain, then that would mean that they're guests under our hospitality. We'd have to help.
Exactly, that we're obligated.
I can afford.
So he will say, the problem is not with the stone, it is with the poison that runs in the wood and the plant within us. And it is not from the chaos moon. The moon is merely an omen, and it is the reach of the corrupted jungle that wanders in the center of the world. It, by happenstance, touched us and has planted that seed in us. He says, we are going to keep marching, and you must bring us a healer. If you bring us a healer, then we will talk again. But we're going now. And essentially, the consequence here is he's ending the conversation to continue on.
Maybe walk a little slower.
If you're gonna resist it, I will assist with resisting where I go. I know someone that could be here by sunrise.
You would take the resist for him if that's
Yeah,
what you wanna
exactly.
do.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
doing. Yeah.
Okay. Roll that resist.
Okay.
Resolve.
Resolve. What is my resolve? Is it 2 or 3?
It is 2.
I gotta do something about that. Okay. A 6.
With you guys today.
It's a good thing that it's with us. All right. And I turn around, I jump on my goat, and I go.
He says, all right, we will sing until morning, and then we will continue.
We will join you
Ooh.
in your song.
All right.
I happen to have marked my instrument. I'll play along with the.
All right. Yeah, and they will stop and they will sit. And they do definitely put that smallest one like under the watchful eye of the others as they sing this Stone Peak song. Their voices come from their bodies, but it also resonates from the earth itself. So I think you get that weird, like the valley itself kind of sings. Tolan, it looks like you're considering something.
I think I'm going to use this opportunity to I guess it's going to be study. I want to learn more about what exactly this rot is. I'm a farmer. I'm sort of, familiar with more mundane forms of plant rot and disease. So I think I'm
Here,
gonna...
let's have you make roll study.
Cool. I have 1. Let's see, do I want to mark something or... Oh, you know what? I actually have 2 more uses of that. What is that? Not Glimmer Tongue, 3-eye Rye Stout. So I'll use one of them here. 6.
And you'll end up with Stone Speak conversing with one of them, and one of them will say to you, we heard from a visitor who passed through doing their research. They came from the Library of Assassins, and they told us that 4 great elementals had been corrupted. Great elementals. Elemental of the sky, elemental of the ocean, elemental of blood, and elemental of the jungle. And that the assassins, the gods of the assassins, had put down one of them and locked the other 2 away, but that the corrupted jungle still existed and came in dreams. And they told us this, and we laughed at them because this sounded silly. And then they left. And then this year, when the Chaos Moon came, we felt the reach of this thing, the shadow of it fall over us. And as it came by in spirit and dream, it left these seeds in us because of what we are.
Hate that jungle.
Does that sound like a fair piece of info for you, Tolan?
Yeah.
So who are you getting?
I think the first person I'm getting is oh gosh, gotta hit the right thing. Our resident elf. So
Neverburn?
Neverburn, yes.
Okay.
Because
So
he has magic, but
this is a roll.
okay.
So what I think this is probably a journey roll for you
Okay.
to rush back at high speed and bring her back. On a Pony Goat Express.
Okay. So I am sure that I have something in my supply that will assist me and give me another die, because I'm gonna need something. Let's see here. How about
Do you want to use your quartermaster?
oh, that's a good idea.
What did you bring with you that will help you and speed this goat's journey along? It flies on silvered hooves.
I know, I love it. Oh, I left like essentially goats along the way on the trip back, because we've been kind of going back and forth. So essentially I ride pell-mell for 2 miles, pick up the next goat that's been rested, ride that one for another n miles until we get back, because we've got these goats posted all along the way.
Sure. Goat post.
Yeah, a goat post.
Molo, goat post. Anything, all these good terms. Do you want to mark stress to push yourself?
I have a weird means to help that
Okay.
I've never gotten to use this piece of my gear. My correspondence kit. I have a pigeon home to the settlement. I can send ahead so they're ready for you when you get there.
Perfect.
So you've got +1 result level. You've got a die from Grunheld. You've got your own journey. Do you want to push yourself for another die?
Sure. Of course, it costs 2. Ouch, but I will do it.
3d6 with an increased result level.
All right. Ah, can't hit the right number, sorry. I got a 5. So increased means 6.
I think that you will ride, and the pigeon gets there well before you, and I think we will see actually
is it Nevail?
Inaxon come out and saddle himself up, and Neverburn will mount upon him, and he will ride to exhaustion to meet you halfway to
Okay.
cut down on the time. However, I think that this is taxing on you, and I think you're going to have to mark injury unless you'd like to resist that.
Geez, what does injury do while you have it?
-1 die to all prowess actions and resistance rolls.
Ew. Ugh. 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 I will try to resist it.
Roll 3d6.
All right. Here we go. This will be when it all goes to hell. Oh no, a 6. Yay.
Always in that last slot.
Yes.
So what does that look like? Like I imagine we're like, in the early morning in action, he's exhausted. The poison oak elf has gotten down, and what does it look like then?
I think that you see, like, essentially I ride up on my goat. They've ended right where we have another one of the posts right there. And I think I think that I turn to her and I say, "You're much lighter than me. You can ride. Just follow them back. The other goats will be somewhat refreshed, so you can change at each post. Follow the posts." And I will leave her. I have a map, so I will give her that map. I said, "I will follow behind on a tired goat."
So I imagine that the morning comes up. You've sung all night with these trolls. As the first sort of crack of dawn, where you can tell the color of a thread held up, the light comes through, and they will kind of stand up, and they will sing the song that greets the morning. It's kind of a song of, please don't burn us. The light, we dislike the light. Why are we out here in the sun? It sounds very good to you, Dawson. You very much sympathize with this particular song.
I am writing this hymn down.
And I think that it's as they're right, you will see this goat with Neverburn come riding up exhausted. Probably like the scouts have to take it from her to keep it from collapsing, and she will come over, and she will say, I've read what you said. I've read what you said. And she will turn to them and say, sit. Can you tell them to sit?
She would like one of you to sit so she can examine you.
Sit. And she will go and she will look, and she'll go over to the one like that is clearly the youngest, and she will come back, and she will say,
No, please don't pick her up. No, that will not help matters.
She will come back to you, Tolan, and she will say, I need your help to do this. I can do it, but I need your skill at honing. I need your strength to help me. I can take out what is in them that is wrong, but I need you because I have to have your ability to join together.
All right. What do I do?
And she will bring you over, and this is the roll to cure. I'm going to have you roll with hone.
All right.
Do you want to push yourself?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any items that you think would be appropriate? Bruise or otherwise?
I have. Where was it in here? A rare stone or gem with potential, and the potential is to absorb. And I'm going to try to like put the infection into it.
Okay. So let's have you roll 4 dice then.
All right.
Can do it.
Ooh, a 6.
So that is a 6
It
in
took
the
all 4
last
of them to get a
position.
pair.
So we will see Neverburn like doing this and touching along where the gaps are, and then she will say, I need you to concentrate here. And it's clearly uncomfortable for them. And the thing is, what is pulled out of them are literal seeds. I think one of them will go into your stone because they are spiritual until they come out and they're hardened. So
Okay.
you've got one kind of the essence of that in your stone, but then you've got these 12 black seeds. And she will say, we should throw these in the lava.
Yes, that seems like the wisest course of action.
Should we though? No, the lava. It's our home, and these are a lot of corruption.
We need to destroy this thing. These things. If not lava, then something else. If you have a way.
They corrupt the
We
organic.
do need to destroy them.
Believe the lava will destroy it.
I believe it will.
We must have faith. The mountain will
Elf.
destroy.
Yes, dwarf?
Nothing.
You turn around and you see her, like, she does a rude gesture. Doubt me. I'm a healer. Prove myself here. Rode a goat all night. But
Branch liver.
So
listen,
here's the
listen,
big question.
stone liquor.
Do we invite the trolls back to our thing to visit then?
Oh, certainly we should invite them if they wish to come.
Thank you. They say the equivalent of thank you in Stone Speak, but they say we must go back now and rebuild our home and call the little ones back. Or we perhaps go to a different place and rebuild there. But we must go and do that.
I wish you luck. We'll see that these are destroyed.
You touch the stone and I know what you need. We are lunar trolls. And he will reach into his bag and he will pull out a length of rope with a hook upon it. And he will hand it to you, Tolan.
Yeah, I take it, and I'm like putting lunar trolls. How?
That's yes.
Do you still go to the moon?
No, we are strengthened by the moon, which is why
Oh, I see.
the chaos moon is such to us. But we have this. When the junction comes next year and the moon is as full as it can be, you swing this
But no,
into the sky,
Nope.
and it will hook to the moon, and you may go there.
no, that's not how moons work.
What are they saying?
I'm like about to just elbow Dawson and then realize that he's made of clay and think better of it. So.
They want to curse us by sending us to the moon.
With a hook?
Yes, look how evil and terrible it looks.
When it's like a little crescent that you can hook it onto?
But well, I mean, yes, but like on the moon?
Oh,
You will know the day. It is when the full equinox, all things converge. The moon will be at its largest. If you do this and you live, we would like this back at some point.
Absolutely.
They've said that the hook is definitely going to kill us all.
oh.
No, they didn't.
Oh.
Look, you don't
they
have to
didn't?
go.
We will go now. And they will turn and start singing their song, and they will head back.
The lyrics are difficult, but I'll say the beat really can get you dancing.
Let's take our second break. Let's take 5, and we'll come back, and we will move to downtime. I do imagine as a coda to that scene that where there is the group of you marching back and like seeing in the distance a daggerill and a exhausted goat kind of not galloping but more trotting towards where you are and catch up with her.
Yeah, and I think Dagger goes, how did it go? How did it go? She's coming up.
Well, we're not dead.
Not until we try and use that terrible hook.
And we have a grappling hook to take us to the moon next year when it's closer.
Wait. Okay, so what happened with the trolls?
They got cured, but we have some seeds of destruction we have to throw in the lava.
Okay, and I sort of look at Neverburn, and I'm like, yes. And I actually will go over and say, I knew you could do it. Thank you so much. I owe you big time. I'm gonna write this up. What you did.
Like, what's with Dawson? I did all that, and then he got like all snippy with me afterwards.
He can't say thank you, and in fact, when he wants to, is when it gets the worst. Or maybe I don't know if he wants to. When he recognizes that it's correct to do that, that's when he becomes particularly unpleasant. I think he has a weird contrary thing that's just built into him.
Don't like it because he's very good and he's very smart, and I don't like being talked down by like when people are like that. I would rather them be impressed with me.
Indeed. We can try re-engineering him.
He is impressed with you. If he wasn't, he wouldn't bother to be rude.
Oh, okay.
He might be jealous.
In any case, we're going to cut back to all of you back. We'll head to the end of the year, to that time, and we come to the downtime actions, the settlement phase, which begins by activating buildings.
Wait, it begins by that?
It begins with activating building. Each building in Mountain Home may be activated in the settlement phase gets effects.
Okay.
So if there's anything, so this should be like any of the healing or things like that we need to do.
Okay.
Anything that we need to do?
Anybody hurt?
I did not take the injury. I didn't know if I would need to make more rolls, so.
Okay.
Okay, so let's just go to downtime activities then.
Ooh.
Tolan, what would you like to do for your first downtime activity?
I would like to try to finish my very long-term project.
Ooh, excellent. So this is you rolling, I believe, with craft, right?
Yeah, I think either craft or hone would make sense here.
Yeah.
And
Oh, either
you've
one.
told none of us about it, right?
Nope, haven't mentioned it at all. So that's 2 dice plus the 1 for it being crafting. Ooh, man.
So
Ooh.
you make only 1 tick of progress on that. You can taste it. It is so close.
Yep.
Grunheld, what do you wish to do for your first downtime activity? And I will mention, by the way, I did give you a rep and just one on the outsider entanglements track, nothing more than that. So that seemed like decent from that expedition, in addition to the fictional positioning with the item.
I might argue for 2 rep, but that's just me arguing that this was a whole region-wide sort of thing.
That's why I gave you a big old sky hook.
All right. Well, I'll use my first one then to use our diplomats to increase our reputation.
Okay. So that goes up by 2.
Let's see. That's our ancillaries. They gain 2. Yes.
Okay. Dawson, what do you wish to do? I'm curious.
What can I do that'll spend more stress? I should probably indulge my obsession. So.
And this is pretty bad for you. Like you're right at the brink of exhaustion. So what do we see you like really digging into your obsession there?
I think he's like obsessively following all the lava flows as far as he can, on this idea that like somewhere in here is a dangerous group of lava giants, and he'll definitely just stumble across them if he looks hard enough. But just following the lava flows into strange passages and sort of choking fume tunnels, and I think he comes back with no eyebrows.
Yeah, probably get
Well,
some
no,
of those
we
burnt.
know you have to be stoned because you can't afford to turn back.
True. I also imagine that we see you with some of the burnt notes from the bathysphere lava guy that were left behind, that helping you map this out. All right, so let's have you go ahead and roll 2 dice, right?
Yes.
A 6. Look at you. It is effective. Dagriel, what do you want to do for your first?
I actually probably will do stress 2, which means indulging my obsession, which is wandering. And I think that I'd probably try to convince Neverburn to go with me and Brown Thistle, and we're gonna go and check out, oh, what sounds good after we've thrown those seeds in the lava and everything, right? So sorry,
The seeds are gone, unless somebody
good.
secretly secretes one of them away. Dawson, the seeds are gone.
Good, good. Then essentially what it is I'm going to ask about those dragons that are down there. Not that we want to use them. I just have heard that there's some dragons down here, and now I'm really keen to go see them. So I'm like, never. You want to go and check it out? Brown Throne, take us over there. He's really good at sneaking around.
Let's have you roll.
Okay.
So 2 dice.
Okay. Do. 6. There we go. 6 and a 4. Ha ha.
You have
ha.
overindulged.
No, I haven't because I get to re-roll.
Dang it.
Don't worry. I mean, I might. I got 1 instead. It's the worst, but I'll take the 1.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to overindulge. What does that do when you overindulge?
Overindulge
It seems like.
is you attract trouble. We roll another outsider entanglement. You wander off and can't be played the following year.
Oh,
You shame yourself in front of your public.
no. I
Or
just
we-
wanted to tap my stress back some. 1 is disappointing, but not terrible. So
Or you just mark a segment in the mountain entanglement track.
none
But
of those things are good because
that's
everything's
3
so
boxes,
high
yeah.
right now. Yeah. So yeah. So I'm good with this.
Okay.
And it just means that I have like a pretty exciting time while we're there, so I don't get as much rest as I would have otherwise. But we see some cool stuff is my hope.
That seems good. Tolan, what would you like to do for your second downtime activity?
Yeah, I'm getting kind of high on stress too. So I think I probably should go ahead and indulge my vice or obsession.
Okay. 2 dice.
4.
4. Look at you.
That's good. Yes.
That's a really good number for you to roll.
Uh-huh.
Grunheld.
I'm going to meta a second here and ask, Patrick, are you starting a long-term to study the waterways? Because I'm pushing to get a chance to use my special ability, which means someone needs to have a long-term I can help them with.
Oh, you could have helped Tolan.
No, I couldn't because we don't know about
Oh,
That's
secret.
why I said, hey,
Because
Oh,
Tolan's
yeah.
obsession is
nobody.
specifically secret crafting.
Yeah.
Is that what'll do the? Is that the next step? I don't really
I
know
thought
where to
that's
go
what
with
Lowell
the
was
waters.
saying.
So you want to be able to like you don't really know anything about the waterways, so you need to this is a long-term project to figure out how they work. Actually, using them and accessing might be a different thing, but you need to get the skivvy on them.
Then sure.
Okay. Can I ask for a skip to let Dawson start a long-term project before I go?
Dawson, would you like to do a long-term project?
No, I think I'm gonna do something else.
Okay. Study or stone speak feels appropriate to me.
Sadly, it's probably study to start with because we don't really have anywhere to go from.
That seems fair. Absolutely.
Then I'll spend a stress to help you in this, because you came to me, we were talking about working on this together. So I'll go back, over long-term things that legends I've heard of this place from before, and give you a die.
One.
Oh.
So you will get 1 tick towards that. And
what size clock is it going to be?
I think we're going to make that. I don't want to be cruel. Since this is just a first stage, I'm going to say 6.
Cool.
And then you're going to activate calloused hands, I assume, Grunheld?
For my action, yeah, I'm gonna activate Calloused Hands. So for my action, I'll spend a downtime helping someone else's project.
Now, and here's the thing. So you assisted, right? And that was just an assist. So you actually roll to do ticks on the
Right.
clock. So let's do that.
Yeah, that's what'll happen. Yeah.
Let's do that.
So I'm gonna spend one of our treasure. Pop it off. There we go. To open up some space in my supply.
Okay.
And I'm going to bring out a historical memento.
Okay.
And when I'm there with Dawson, I'm going to where we found that crack in the water was down below. I'm going to bring out something. This was something that had been kept away for some time, but it is, and I'll bring out. It's a model of the craft that was used for these waterways. It's like a small, like a dugout, just a wooden bottle. Its legend was that you could travel from one settlement to another on these. I don't know if it's true, but let's at least watch it sail together. And I'll put it down into the water as we watch it move off. And I'll roll to work on the project.
Okay.
Does that give me a die, you think? Or is that just for...
Yeah, I think a die is fair.
Okay. Then I think I'm probably using here...
Study, craft.
A journey. Okay, we'll go with craft. Let's go with craft.
Okay.
All right. So 2 dice. We're rolling. I got a 5.
That's another 2 ticks on the clock.
And I get rid of a stress, and that didn't count as a downtime.
All right. So let's go on. So you have only spent 1 downtime action then, Grunheld. Let's do your next one so we're still on track for going around.
Okay, cool. Let's see. Check stuff. I think I'll go pray.
Okay.
I'm gonna drop the mountain.
And that's 1 or 2 ticks.
It's just 1, unfortunately.
Okay. And that'll bring us to Dawson for your second action.
My second was the long-term project. There.
Oh, that's right, because we got the thing of that. So Dagrio, your second one.
God, no one's built or explored, huh?
True.
Had a rough winter.
We have. Let's see here. Does it make more sense to build something in that silver vein? Something down there in the sealed off, in the lava field? Or, the remnant work site? We should do something there. What's a good building for that? It's got forges and equipment, including caches and stuff. We haven't even looked into it hardly at all.
There is a salvage site you can build on the Remnant work site.
And what does that do for us?
Activate to get +1 die to borrow aid by trading salvage or finding old items. It's okay.
We haven't done borrow aid yet.
I've done it a couple times, but not very much, no.
Right.
You got to think about it because it's about getting something. But, it's not bad. We got a whole dragon fight coming up. So
Mhm.
maybe it's worth it. So, okay, let's try this salvage thing. So what what tier is it?
Okay, so that is going to be a depth 4.
Yeah.
So let's
It's a
go
level 2 building.
level 2 building. So it's
Oh, actually, we're in the middle of building a silver mint.
Oh. Oh, so I got to work on that, huh? How much is left for that?
2 ticks.
2.
2 ticks.
Okay, well, I can roll on that and then name it after
You
myself.
do have some treasure and stuff, so people
Okay.
can.
Yeah, we have.
But yeah, we'll get that finished. There's a silver mint in the silver mine. Is that what we were working on?
Yes,
Or where
ma'am.
was it?
It's in Silverby.
Okay, but no
Silver
one
vein.
marked it. Okay.
It's in our buildings being built section
Oh,
that's
shoot. I'm
in
sorry.
settlement underneath like the reputation discovery clock. We have a building clock.
Oh, that's right.
Okay. Sorry, didn't realize that. That was foolish of me.
I'd
see it
forgotten
now.
it too.
Okay, so let's do that silver mint. So, and I want it to be, mint like, ooh, refreshing, but don't think it is. It's not a big silver mint filled.
How are you helping with the project?
Well, I say everyone who helps us finish the thing off gets to put their name on the door frames and the window frames. I've started a new mad dash for being able to put your name on buildings and everything. So,
So is that convince?
that is convince.
3 dice.
Okay. Do. 6. God, this drop down saves all the stupid rolls rather than the ones you actually bank a lot. I got a 6.
So that'll finish it.
Finish it and with style.
Woo-hoo.
Okay. Excellent.
So we're on potentially third actions from people, right?
Yeah.
Colin, what do you want to do? Do you want to spend a treasure and get that third action?
Yeah, I think so. What would actually be useful? No, I think I'm gonna, or I think I am, but I think I'm going to work on my long-term project some more.
Okay.
I'd like to get it done.
So
I
I'll
don't think I'll get it done right
I'll
now.
mark a
But
treasure. Go ahead and
All
roll
right.
your project. So
that
that's a
time I got 2
critical.
sixes.
So that's 5 successes, 5 ticks.
Awesome, which will finish it.
Way to go.
So what shape does this thing take? What shape does this?
This is let me see if I could find a picture of it because it's an obscure animal, sort of obscure. Have you ever heard of a fossa?
No.
Okay. I will post a link to it. It is it's a relative of a mongoose. It looks very cat-like.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of a medium-sized carnivore. It mostly eats lemurs. It looks like an animal that would do pretty well in tunnels because it's sort of long and thin and weaselly, but can also climb.
All right. So you have a metal fossa with a little magical heart in it.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
Dun. Grunheld, do you want to spend a treasure for another downtime action?
I do.
What do you wish to do?
I'm going to explore.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever explored. I'm getting that last depth 1.
Okay.
And I think I only have to, as long as I get a 1, right?
Pretty much.
So I'll roll with. I guess I'll roll the journey. Is that right? Yeah. I
Sure.
don't have anything else I'm good with. All right. So rolling with journey. I got a 1.
Okay.
That
That's all
doesn't
you
do
needed.
anything, does it?
It gets you 1 tick.
Oh, it gets me 1 tick.
Yeah.
I do succeed.
Unless you want to spend another treasure and finish it out.
Is that not enough?
I thought it was 2
Yeah,
ticks.
that should.
Or is it 1 tick for those?
It's depth level, isn't it?
Yeah, it's equal.
2 for surface.
1
depth
for
level.
1, and then.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Sorry. I couldn't remember because there's a 1 where you add a
It's
number.
weird.
Yeah. So yeah, you will finish that out. Why don't you roll me a d6?
Okay.
What'd you get?
I got another 1.
And then roll me a second d6, Grunheld.
A 4.
So you will get 1 and 4. So you will get that first that thing is winding tunnels.
Excellent.
Oh, actually, yeah, because it's depth 1. Yeah, winding tunnels.
Mhm.
Perfect. Okay. So we get that, and that also hits a
Discovery clock.
Hey, how about I wait on that discovery clock till next time? Because you're in the big boys for the discovery, so I'll bring that
Oh, okay,
for
cool.
play next time. Because
That's
you've done all the tier 1s, so
Oh, that's cool.
we're in tier 2. Dawson, did you want to spend a treasure for another downtime action?
Yeah, I was trying to decide whether to build or explore, but we just got an explore out, so I am gonna work on that thingamajigger. Salvage site.
Okay. What are you going to use to help start building it?
Wow, this is the first situation I've come across where I don't think stone speak is really appropriate for this building.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. Yeah.
Because I feel like that might mess up what's going on or interact weirdly with the remnants. It's all about finding usable salvage, so craft.
That seems fair. Yeah.
Basics.
So that'll be 3 ticks, right?
Yes, and I think it's a 5. Yeah, it's level 2, so it's a 5 clock.
I should have mentioned earlier, we have that tablet of foes.
Mm-hmm.
If Sherry, you activated.
Yeah,
that's
we have
a
to
4-segment downtime clock.
What does that mean?
We have a 4-segment clock to
we have to unlock the tablet.
Work.
Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't say that, or I would have worked on that. Okay.
I didn't think about it either. I just went back and was like, oh shit, we got that thing that's in downtime.
So you have, if you want to spend a treasure, you can get a second downtime action. So we spent 1 for Patrick. And you can use that to either research on that or work on the building.
It's a gather information roll, right? So I will essentially research on the foes thing.
Okay.
I will help. I'll spend a stress.
Okay, great.
So
that's
study plus an additional die.
46.
And you've got an additional, don't forget, you get an automatic bonus on your research.
Oh, a tick. Yeah, I'll get a tick on it. So.
No, you get an actual result level up, not a tick.
But I thought it also said, oh, but I automatically get one
Oh,
tick
that's
towards any
right. Oh,
downtime
so you're right.
project
It
for
is one
training,
tick.
research, or
You're
learning.
right. It is one
So,
tick.
Mhm.
and then I also get a +1 reserve on all gather information rolls. I don't
Right.
know if this counts as gather information.
That's what you're
or-
doing.
Okay, so I have 5d6, and essentially then I get a +1 tick. So let's see if I can find the flippin'. Sorry. Oh, I do not know why it does this, but every once in a while okay, here we go. My whole thing just blows up here. Okay, so 5d6. I don't think I've had typed that in for a long time, so.
5 6s.
No, but one, that's
Woohoo!
that's
There
we
one.
go.
That's my
That will be
ones
enough to
finishes
finish it.
Okay, good. Thanks for the help.
Oh, no problem. Like I say, I wish I'd have thought of it earlier.
No,
Completely
that's
forgot
okay.
about it too.
So, but do spend that one treasure for my third move.
Yep. So you're at 1 right now. Let's go
Mhm.
to trade. So I think you guys, for this first one, you want to go ahead and mark the trade.
Yeah.
We'll do the
We got the mint now.
ironworks. Yeah. Yeah, we could do the ironworks and the brewery for the first, and then the mint and the jewel crafter for the second.
Sounds
3
perfect.
dice each.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Plus
Tyler,
whatever comes off of the fortune roll.
so it's that. So Tyler, roll me 4 dice.
Excellent. All right, first one. 2, 3, 4. Oh, good. I got a 6.
6. So that is going to be for you the tier +1. So 3 treasure.
Okay.
And then Merchant's Guild,
Get the Merchant's Guild and roll again.
mint,
Someone
and
else.
jewel crafter.
So what do you roll for that?
Yep, someone else needs to roll 4 dice.
What do you roll? 4, 3?
4d6.
46, sorry, just that was. I will roll it. This is how I will put my disappointment out there for the evening.
Yeah, I'm leaving the active trade.
Yes, I have a 4, so.
So that will be another 2 treasure.
Very good. We have a full treasury. Our vault isn't full, but our treasury's full. And we're only 3 away from going up another tier.
Cool. Reputation, you mean?
Yeah.
Cool.
We could pop that next time.
Well,
Yep,
we are going
you
to try
go
to
to
get rid of a dragon.
Tier 3 with a weak hold. I'd love for you to have weak hold going into a dragon fight.
Well, I think we have. Yeah.
Let's go through advancement, shall we? Poland, did you perform your playbook specific XP trigger?
Yes, I solved problems with all of the brews.
Okay, yeah, actually, I think that was a lot, so I'm going to give you 2 for that. Did you express your beliefs, pursue your drives, or honor your clan legacy or your background?
Yeah.
Okay, give you a point for that. You did non-expedition scenes with other founders, so that's another point. Did you struggle with your obsession or your weariness? I'm actually going to give you a point because you your obsession and on your secrecy and all of that harmed your progress there. Like that,
Yeah.
your problems could have been solved if you had just talked to someone.
Yep.
Grunheld, playbook specific XP trigger.
Yeah, I think I did a pretty good bit of it.
Yeah.
Shared history and ceremony, especially when we were talking about the games and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
So
let's
I
give you
hit
2
that
points
solid.
for that.
Thank you.
Express your beliefs, pursue your drives, honor your clan legacy, background.
I at least got one of those.
Yeah, I think definitely a
Yeah.
point for that. Plus another point for sharing non-expedition phase scenes. You got a weariness, didn't you? Or did you opt
I
not?
did. I got that unsteady, and I had that whole interaction with an ex, and did that feel like playing on it? I don't know if I struggled with it, but I
Well,
had an
I don't
emotional
remember
moment where
what was the unsteadiness there.
it was talking about the people of the past and him giving me, why haven't you talked to your children then?
Oh yeah,
all of
yeah.
that.
I'm actually gonna give you a point for that because that's gonna be haunting you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Let's come to Dawson. Dawson, a playbook specific?
Rune's Ritual or the Spirit of the Earth.
Oh yeah, 2 points for
Between the
that.
games and that, yeah, the giants, or trolls.
Did you express your beliefs, pursue your drives, honor your clan legacy, or your background?
Yeah, I don't know on that one.
I think that actually there's a certain amount of your sort of innate beliefs and you're snapping with the elf there. Like I think there's some unconscious stuff that is worth it to me because that built up some interesting RP moments. So I think that's worth a point there.
I'll take that.
You shared in a non-expedition phase scene, so get another point for that. Did you struggle with your obsession or weariness?
It didn't end up rolling snake eyes, but there was the tension of sitting right on the edge there.
Yeah, you've really pushed yourself. I'll give you a point for that because you had you could have easily done it without the clay body, but you went for it, and that seems reasonable. Dagriel, did you perform your playbook specific XP trigger?
My XP thing is get additional XP as the keeper when you unearth a secret or leverage your supply case to help another. I did a lot of secret unearthing, and I've leveraged my supply case on multiple things for
Let's say 2 points.
Okay.
Did you express your beliefs, pursue your drives, or honor your clan legacy or your background?
Oh, that's a fine question. Let's see here. Did I? I have to figure out where I'm. Okay, so I'm good with this. Say that again, just so I can.
Did you express your beliefs, pursue your drives, or honor your clan legacy or your background?
Okay, so my belief is knowledge is the true dwarven treasure, and I think I brought it home with 4 6s at one point.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, give you your point.
Okay, thanks.
And another point for non-expedition phase scene. Did you struggle with your obsession or weariness?
Let's see here. I did not struggle.
Yeah, I don't think you did this time.
No, it was that I put that aside for other things. So yeah.
I think that's fair. So that's all the downtime. That's the experience. We'll start next time where we'll talk about the discovery clock. And then we will go through sort of the start of year, the entanglements and where we are as you plan for Dragon Year. So that is up there. I would like to do a quick stars and wishes, just to have that on the table. Tolan, is it okay if I start with you, same order?
Yeah, I mean, okay, stars to you for the very interesting troll backstory. I was trying to figure out what was up with them for a good part of the session, and then finally I was, oh, right, okay, that's something we could maybe possibly do something about. But it was really interesting, like trying to figure out what was up with them. And also for just the very weird elemental story in the background. That I don't know. I feel like there's I like that it still feels very mysterious. Like not really sure what other effects this might have, but there's implications that it's really was really interesting in a that's going to stick in my head way.
Okay, good. Anything wishes wise?
Nothing particular is coming to mind.
Okay.
Obviously things that we're already doing, you know, just follow the current threads that we're on, I guess is the
That
which we're already
seems
gonna do. So that
that
doesn't need
seems
to be a
good.
wish.
Yeah. Grunheld.
This was fucking amazing. I loved the whole troll story. The discovery was magnificent. Everybody got to do their neat bit through it. This was really nicely balanced. Because everybody got to shine tonight. And that is so much fun. And it felt like we did a ton this evening. It was such a rich adventure tonight.
Good.
Really well done. I want to hit. I loved Patrick dealing with the trolls. Oh, is this a baby? What's so funny? And then I can lift you up, don't you doubt me? Tolan, several points amazingly interesting. I loved the information gain to start with, how you delved and found out things, but I also really liked as you came in there with kind of off the cuff ideas of I can do this, that flowed into you being up there when we were actually doing, say, oh, I figured this out. This is what we can. It was all so nicely done. And I can't believe how fun it is for me to think of Dagriel on goat back, running across the desert to get back home. And bringing in characters. It was just all around really spectacularly done. Just a ton of fun. And the dice willing to give us a good resistance.
Yeah.
I'll have a big, huge plus on good resistances. My wish, these special things that we get out of, that you managed, Sherry, to get out of the city, out of the playbooks. We have that writing beast, which is an 8-tick clock. I had thought it was moles, but it needs to be goats. We need to remember to set ourselves up to try and hit that 8-tick clock and get us some riding goats.
All right.
You think that instead of the
moles? I don't know.
I mean instead of the tablet.
Well, we've already done the tablets. You've got one for each year for 3 years.
Yeah. So you're talking about when you advance.
Yeah, our next one would be our next free one or whatever.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
And there's nothing to say we can't get both goats and moles the next time. We've got 2 more years.
Well, we need to find a ranch somewhere in there too.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. It was so much fun, though.
Good. Dawson, wishes, or rather, stars.
Yeah, this whole thing was cool. I'll agree with Ethan. The whole troll storyline was fascinating. It was deep. It was weird and twisty in a neat way, and I enjoyed interacting with them. I also really liked the Godbound Easter egg / background. I was really happy to see it, but I felt like you also did a good job of making it Easter eggs rather than a trilogy that you have to read before watching this movie or whatever.
Right.
It wasn't like necessary study information, but it was a neat little sprinkle to be like, oh, I remember doing that thing with the temple and the strange corruptions, and now it's jungle. Oh, what did we do? That was cool. Ethan, I really enjoyed seeing Tolan finish that project. I love Mecha Kitty, and I'm looking forward to seeing like how you present slash unveil it, and like if there are any like social consequences for the mages definitely helped you out, but it is sort of their thing, and I want to see like what that means when you're delving into someone else's personal magic. Sherry, the goat post thing was amazing.
Still not as cool as Molo, but
well, except now I'm retconning and imagining at the beginning of every one of our expeditions where we left the mountain, we leave with this like herd of goats, and every couple of miles we hammer a post in and leave one behind, take the rest with us. So by the end we just have like one little goat with us who's made the whole trip.
Nice.
And Tyler, we sort of talked about it personally on a break, but I thought it was interesting to see Grunheld out of her element, which doesn't happen much. Usually she can be super competent or she can be very personable in a situation, but it wasn't something you can act on, and it wasn't something you could talk to. And it was sort of interesting to see Grunheld on a back foot. But also, I really want to thank you for bringing up the waterways clock again and pushing that. Like, I know you're trying to get your move off and be cool, but it is something I'm very invested in. So I liked you reminding me and pushing that story forward with me.
Awesome. Yeah.
Wishes, I like all the stuff that we're doing, but as a like small little wish in there.
Sure.
We unlocked that tablet of foes and we sort of talked about where it is, but I would like to explore more the fiction of like what's on the tablet and what these sort of secrets we have are and what sort of effects come out of that. Like I want to expand on that a little bit because I think
Okay. Yeah, we can definitely spend some time like looking at that now that has been uncovered. I like that. I do want to say before I go to Osmo, like I will appreciate everybody's wishes last time because that really like shaped how I came up with the trolls, and I wanted to make sure that I got that, and you all had very interesting and sometimes contradictory wishes for what you wanted out of the trolls. And I was like, oh boy. So I'm very glad that you enjoyed them. I actually had a very good time coming up with that. So, and playing them. Dagril.
Yeah, the trolls were awesome. They were there was a lot of pathos in the story, and having Dawson as a translator of that pathos was both fascinating and frustrating. So it was really cool. I really liked. I don't know. It was a. We all felt like we worked as a group, and even though we went at weird angles from each other, it ended up kind of covering all the bases. So I was very pleased with that. I think it is an interesting thing to be in a situation where you are kind of like you're going, well, this really isn't playing to my strengths, so I got to figure out what little bits I can do. And Tyler did a great job of assisting here and assisting there, so that when people did hit on the things that they were good at, it was like we could actually bring it home, and that was really good. That worked out great. I think I've gotten about as much mileage as I can out of those 4 6s, so I'll stop belaboring that. But I just want to say that, thanks for the help with working out what the tablet of foes thing does. And so we're all set for next time. And then I'm all for goats plus moles. Okay, so we got some interior travel creatures and some exterior, outworld
That makes sense. Yeah.
travel. So
Anything
So
wishes?
thank you for letting me said never burn off on a set of goats. Okay, so that was I knew I was kind of pushing it there, but I'm like I don't think I can say that we both ride this goat back. So just sending her ahead.
Wishes?
Let's see here. I don't know. I kind of don't want to try to shape the dragon thing too much.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to kind of we've got a great pool of personalities around us. We've got a lot of people we want to keep safe, and we've got a really nasty situation with an undead dragon. I think
Yeah.
it's just one of the really bad things.
One of the things that was a wish last time that I'll remember to carry on is getting some time for everybody to interact with the NPCs the coming session, and like trying to hit the full range of characters who are there.
That will be perfect.
Thank you all so much. That was fun. I am going to stop the recording.